Hey everyone, today we are here with Dee Brissett, and it's going to be a quick chat on how she used Burb and some quick tips for you that will improve your automations or just engage in your community. So Dee, first introduce yourself and more about your community.
Sure. So, hello, everyone. My name is Dee, and I'm the Community and Programs Manager at Creator Wizard. We help creators land sponsorships and understand brand deal strategy. And so, what I really love using Burb for is managing my community in terms of automations. It has totally been a lifesaver for me in terms of saving time. It's super easy to use. And whenever I run into any hiccups, the team is always so quick to respond and help, which totally saves the day for me. And I appreciate that so much.
Thanks for that as well, Dee.
Yeah.
And what made you choose Burb in the first place? How you get to know and like what was something that got your eyes saying, "Oh, I want to try this."
Yeah, so Justin Moore, the founder of Creator Wizard, and I, we wanted to use Burb because it was just an easy way to have everything sort of all in one place, as opposed to managing our community on all these different places at once. It just makes it super easy to have everything all at once. So when we were launching our new community, we knew that we wanted to make things simpler and we wanted to make sure that we had a lot of messages that were able to go out there, but without taking so much time on the back end that was taking away from actually being in the community and just keeping track of like engagement and things like that. So when we found out that Burb was able to do that, we knew for sure this was something that we wanted to try it for our community. And so far, we've been really enjoying it.
That's awesome. With so many folks coming from Justin. I have to get one time with Justin sometime here as well. And which features are helping you save time or grow engagement in your community?
Yeah, so
Can
right
I just give
now,
an example of something that it was like your biggest hit?
yeah, one of the biggest hits for me was being able to automate messages for different spaces all at once. That was really, really helpful for me because every day, we post prompts in our community, and it does take a lot of time when you have to go through and do that on a daily basis. So being able to schedule them, a week in advance, a whole month at once, sometimes it's just super helpful. That's something that I really like. And I also secretly really love seeing the engagement, like knowing who's dropping off, who's the most active. It's just great to have it in a visual that makes sense, where it's like, oh, I look at it and okay, I can see clearly what's going on without having to read through it too much. I just love the simplicity and the ease of how the site is set up and how easy it is for me to be able to just see those things that really matter a lot to me, like seeing who's really active in the community and just being able to get those messages out there without having to lose time in the process.
You mentioned something that members love. So it is the most active tag and the ones that are dropping off. Do you have any automations around it? And that's okay if you don't have. Sorry to put you on the spot, but
No,
just
I
want to
don't
hear.
have any automations set up for that yet. However, I have seen how it's been done, and it's definitely something that we plan to implement in the future. I think at the time that we started using Burb, it was right at the time that our new community was launching and right at the time that a new course was launching. So there was a lot of moving factors all at once. And I'm looking forward to being able to use automations to check in on those dropping off or to just, thank the community for those who are super involved and, high on that engagement list. It totally helps in it. I love the personal approach, and I find that I still am able to have that with these automations because I can literally just make it my own and send it out. And that's what I love.
And there's a constant fear, like hearing from you and from other members, that if you use too much automations, then you're gonna lose that personal feeling, or member will see that, oh, I'm talking to a bot, it's not actually. How do you play with that? And do actually your members feel that it's not you send message or something like that?
Yeah, you know what? Whenever I think of automations, I always have that fear also, like, will this come off as like an AI, Are they going to think I'm just like a robot responding? It's totally a fear that I'm 100% familiar with. However, I'm big on keeping personality in my messaging. And I love that I still have that option with the automations, being able to personalize all those messages. So even though it is a similar message going out to a similar group of people, it's written in my language and it goes out the way that I want it to, in a simple, easy to read way that totally keeps my personality in there. It'd be a shame to lose that in automations. And I love that that's still available, which is great.
Great to hear as well. So this should be just a quick chat. And so, Leslie, what are some tips that you can share for folks that want to also do the same that you're doing right now with Burb?
I would say the number one thing is to sign up and play around with it first, see what kind of messages you like, what happens when you press this button, what happens next. I'm big at testing out like, oh, what's going to happen here if I do this? Or like, how will this message look when I actually send it? I think it's super important to just play around with that to get a little bit more familiar. So as you're doing this, it's more doing it from muscle memory as opposed to like going in and meticulously doing every step by step. That's one thing. And then something that I would actually think would be super helpful are templates moving forward, templates that would just give like onboarding process, like send these 10 messages to onboard your community. Or if you're launching this new thing, here are 5 messages that you can send out in this template. I think that would be super helpful just to make sure that we're not skipping any of the bits. We know that you all are the experts with this. However, we totally want it to be easy to use, right? And who doesn't love templates? I feel like templates make the world go around. It just makes life so much easier.
Yeah, I totally love templates as well. This is why actually we launched those 4 first ones, templates, and
Mhm.
we plan to use more, add more. And as you mentioned, like here's an onboard, use these and just change as you wish. So
Yeah,
yeah, something that we sure gonna work on. And
awesome.
something important that you mentioned about testing, something we always say like, oh, everyone is have the same fear of how it's going to look like, it's going to work. So something we always say is like add a tag for a testing member that you have in your community and just fire messages to that tag or trigger automations based on that tag. Then you can kind of try to test it live and see how it goes. So you should not worry about, oh, this is going to go for everyone and they're not going to know what's happened. But yeah, you can
Yeah.
just test it.
I'm actually really thankful that you dropped that gem. I don't know if you noticed I was taking notes because
Yeah.
that'll be super helpful moving forward to make sure that we have like a wider range of test subjects. That way we can really send it out to more people and really make sure that it looks the way that it should. That's definitely a fear that I don't know when that fear will ever go away. Sending automations.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're taking notes because this is all what it's about, what we're doing right now, for you to take notes and for others also to get some tips for us and for you especially. So thanks for today, Dee. I hope we can schedule this quick check another time again. Thanks so much. And for anyone that's watching, Dee was actually the first one in this project. So we want to thank her for being brave and accepting the invite. So see you in the community as well, Dee.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure doing this, and I'm so happy to help.